Armed with his ancestral axe and a prototype battle gauntlet that enhances his earth-shattering primal strength, Kong roars into battle, packing a meteor impact with every punch. Today we're going to look at Kong with Beast Glove by Playmates. From my past experience with Playmates, Kong has actually had quite a few action figures. It all started with the Peter Jackson film, all the way back in 2005, and then with the release of Godzilla vs. Kong in 2021, I had purchased Kong with the fighter jet plane. But this, compared to that previous figure, is actually the superior one. Now, I do have a preference for Kong without weapons. I'd prefer an all-natural looking Kong without any additions or weapons and such. But I must say that for Kong with a battle gauntlet, this is actually a really solid figure. It's actually quite good, probably one of Playmates' best figures, especially for Kong. In terms of paint detail, it's very minimal. He's mainly just cast in a light, or I should say a dark brown plastic that's sort of a gray, like a grayish brown. It's very muted colors, and it's the battle gauntlet here that is painted in yellow with some silver highlights. That's what makes it pop. That's what makes it stand out. His eyes are also a very desaturated brown. Mold detailing is quite good. It's actually fantastic. Like, you can see all the fur on his back, his legs, his rear. And he also has the painted on scars from the previous films. I think my favorite detail on Kong is the head, as he has a very vicious expression on his face, complete with fangs, a painted tongue. Just a very furious, angry expression. We'll also note that he has very, very small ears that are molded on the sides too. In fact, with this more elderly-looking Kong, it actually reminds me a lot of the Peter Jackson version. Articulation is quite good. Now, starting with his gauntlet arm, his right arm, it goes up this way, swings all the way around. There's no wrist and there's no bicep. I mean, his bicep can move this much, but it's limited because of the gear. His other arm, his regular arm, has that luxury, as well as wrist, although it's very tight. His head can move from side to side. Not much you could do there. And then finally, his very short legs. They can move this far, and they have knee. So you could get Kong into some very awesome poses. Now, on that note, with his legs, there is a slight discoloration on the peg, or rather not the peg itself, but the circular part around the peg. This could hint at plastic deterioration since it's very pale and white and discolored. However, this joint is very strong. I don't think it'll break. I mean, if it cracks, then maybe. Otherwise, it's very secure. Oh, and his legs could also turn this way, all the way around. Well, at least this one can. My one issue with the articulation, and this goes along with the kind of plastic as well, is that it's very difficult to get him to stand right. He's standing up fine right now, but I think that's just because I got lucky. When I took him out of the box, he was actually very difficult to stand. It was very tricky. If I did have any gripes with this figure overall, it's that the backs of his teeth aren't painted. If you look very carefully, there's some pink back there. There we go. And speaking of plastic, this is a very hefty figure. I feel like you could hurt somebody if you swing hard enough. He's like very... And I think that in part makes him very difficult to stand. See, he's tipping over right now. You have to get his feet posed just right. They don't seem to sit perfectly flush either. Kong's only accessory is this. This is called the biomimic heave, or it's like a hollow earth vehicle. It's a pretty cool design, I must say, and we don't get enough vehicles with toys like these, you know, with these giant monsters, so this is a very neat addition. Kong can hold it, actually, but as long as you put in his tail part. So yeah, he could hold the Hollow Earth anti-gravitational vehicle. And that's it, really. Though I don't think he's really meant to. For size comparisons, here's Kong next to Godzilla Evolved. Now, I know this is not accurate, but as long as Godzilla is taller and has more mass, I really don't mind. See, they just kind of meet eye to eye. Godzilla is only taller by like a hair. In fact, you could say they're basically the same size. Kong is taller by taller slightly just by the shoulder. But overall, Godzilla has more length to him. But yeah, both these figures kind of grew on me. They go very well together. And as a bonus, here he is with the Ultra Action Figure Series B.E.A.S.T. There's going to be a review on this guy coming soon. And yeah, here's how these two, I guess you could say, humanoid action figures, kaiju-sized characters, stand next to each other. They seem to meet just eye to eye. But of course, Kong is the bulkier one. Yeah, Kong is definitely the more burly of the two. Well, I can't wait to see Godzilla Kong the New Empire, coming March 29th. Here's to hoping the movie's great, and farewell.